Hey guys, so this is Scott. This interview is going to be about how he sold 10,000 units of a single product in one single day from a TikTok influencer. This is a pretty interesting story, so I'm a friend of Scott's and I just got him to hop on here and just give some insight into exactly what happened, right? Because everyone's really interested about TikTok right now and how that might play into your marketing. And I mean, he hit a home run, right? 10,000 units in one single day is pretty damn good results, if I do say so myself. So you can check out his account here. It's the smartest seller. He actually made a response video to the TikTok person here.
If you've never seen liquid,
And this video itself ended up getting quite a lot of views. I think on TikTok he said it got like a couple 100,000 views. But before we dive into the actual interview, guys, I just want to show you the actual TikTok itself so you have some context for it. So this is what happened to his sales over that period, which is pretty crazy.
if you've never,
So this is the TikTok itself here. You can see here 2.3 million views, 6,300 comments, which is pretty crazy. I'm just going to roll this so you guys can see this here.
seen liquid plastic bond two things together in just 4 seconds, then your mind's about to be blown. This is an LED liquid plastic welding kit, and it can fix and repair almost anything that normal glue cannot keep up with. What you see here is him squeezing out the liquid plastic, but it does not harden or solidify until it's exposed to the UV light on the other side of the pin. This stuff is crazy. You can fix phone chargers, broken toys, jewelry, glasses, or your favorite heels. The liquid plastic will never dry out, and it cures in just 4 seconds. This one's pretty good. Things you didn't know you needed.
So really simple, right? But it just really showed the product in a very unique way. And Scott's going to talk about this in the episode, so I'm not going to get too much more into it, but it will show you how her funnel works, right? So this is her TikTok, and the only call to action is link in her bio. So if you go to her bio, you can click this link tree, which will take you to this page here. Just, basic link tree page. And this link right here, things you didn't need, didn't know you needed off Amazon. And it just takes her to her page on Amazon, where she has just chosen all of her products here that she is part of the Amazon Associates program, which is Amazon's affiliate platform that influencers can sign up for. And this is how 10,000 units of a single product got sold through this TikTok. 2.3 million views. Pretty insane. And just so you guys know about Scott, so Scott is a 9-figure Amazon seller. He has sold more than $350 million on Amazon in his day, and he's been around for a long time. He is also a client of Kenji ROI's and has done some work with us. So this guy really knows what he's talking about. This is not just a one-hit wonder. So I'm really excited to share with you guys this interview with Scott Needham of Buyboxer, a 9-figure seller who sold 10,000 units in one single day of one product from TikTok influencer.
I mean, like everyone does good in Q4, but this one definitely helped us beat last year. We didn't actually coordinate with this person. She picked out the product. She found it on a BuzzFeed article. We know that the brand, I mean, this goes to show all marketing efforts can create unique opportunities, in that this brand did push to get, on a gift list on a BuzzFeed article, and she found it off of that, just created her own video. She's probably done, her name's Rachel. She's probably done about 50 products, highlighted it. So she kind of knows what she's going for. She knows what rings with an audience. She's had videos that get, tens of thousands of views and some that get millions of views. And so, and then she selected it, knew that it can tell, you can show before and after with this. And, in the moment she created that video, things just took off. I had an employee of mine text me and said hey, I just saw this on TikTok. And he's and so immediately I looked at our sales and it just ticked up in a way that I'm not used to seeing on a Friday night. Friday night, we started getting, we started selling about $5,000 to $10,000 more per hour than we were used to seeing, which represented the next, that weekend, we probably did about $200,000 in sales that we didn't anticipate. And it really actually hit us in an odd way because this Q4, the inventory limitations, like we had the inventory on hand, we were ready, but we weren't ready because of, this crazy demand and Amazon storage limits. And so now we have about, 6 or 7 employees that are spending, hours a day fulfilling FBM orders. Obviously it's a good problem to have, but we're ready for, this is our final week, and we're definitely ready for FBA to normalize again so that, we can focus on marketing again. But this was just like a unique thing that shows something very different that like what TikTok and Instagram Reels represents. So Instagram Reels actually brought in about 5 million views. Her TikTok brought in about 11 million views. It just ramped up so fast. It went, I think she got 8 million views in 3 days. And,
oh, wow.
Instagram actually is more of a slow burn. TikTok just like front loads a lot of that. Like if a video does well, they just keep bringing it to more people. And when I talked to Rachel, she said that Instagram actually does get those numbers, but they don't front load it as much, and that her Instagram video has actually been catching up. And so, this is kind of a win-win. You probably know that there's an affiliate commission for what she does. And that is her actually preference. I asked her, I was like, Rachel, do you prefer, when you're considering a product, do you think about like an upfront service fee that you can get for, featuring a product, creating a video, creating that content, or are you more interested in the back end affiliate commission? And she said like the affiliate commission obviously represents the highest upside, specifically since Amazon just pays that. It doesn't come out of our fees at all. And so that is probably the best way to create a win-win scenario, in that, these content creators can get a sizable paycheck. I don't know if I calculated exactly, but like she definitely got in the thousands of dollars through this, and probably tens of thousands by now, by getting I think they get about 3% affiliate commission.
It says Amazon Associates, right? Where they sign up
yes,
to sell.
Yes.
Amazon
Associates,
program.
affiliates. Sorry, I'm using those words interchangeably. It is through the associates. Do you know if it's 3%?
I don't know what it is these days. I remember it's a fairly small commission if you're not doing pretty large numbers. So it makes sense that some of these larger influencers who are capable of getting millions of views are able to actually get good numbers out of this program, because I would imagine that smaller influencers, like micro influencers, wouldn't really be that interested, because you're making 2-3%, whatever it actually is. It's not really going to amount to anything unless they're selling hundreds of units or potentially thousands of units like they did in this case, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to like talk about how influencers, whether they're micro or like sizable, how they can influence e-commerce, right? But if there's one thing that is a takeaway for me with specifically TikTok, is sometimes the influencer doesn't matter as much as the story they tell in the video. And because they are always looking at this ratio, how many views and how many likes and how long people watch the video. Do people watch to the end? And TikTok is using those metrics to decide whether to like bring it to a bigger audience. And so you could work with a small influencer, someone that's newer in the space, and as long as like they like the product and can figure out a way to create a compelling story around it, they can promote it. This influencer, Rachel Meters, her angle is things that you didn't know that you needed sold on Amazon. It's like, so she goes for those products that have a wow factor. You're like, I never knew this existed, but now I kind of have to have this. And if you go through her videos, you can see that across the board, she's picking specific products that she finds very interesting, and then does a great job of like demoing it, seeing it in action in a unique way. What's funny was what she did with our product, which is like this adhesive glue. It's kind of like a super glue that like, it doesn't turn into glue until you put UV light on it. She actually used it in a way that I couldn't figure out. We were just sitting there on a piece of paper and trying to like make that glue like stack the way that she did. So we eventually got it, but what it told us is like, she really put herself in the product's shoes. Like she figured it out and figured out a way that like would be the most eye-catching,
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen the video, and I'll make sure the video is rolling for people so they can watch it at the beginning of this video as well. But one thing that really stood out to me is that the production value was like, it very, very basic, almost. And like, I would say that is part of the charm of the video as well, is that it looks like it was filmed on an iPhone. It probably was filmed on an iPhone, and has like some basic text added onto it. So like it looks real, right? It doesn't look like it's like super polished infomercial or something like that, where the kids Nickelodeon channel toy videos looked like back when I was a kid. It looks like someone just got this thing and they're just really enjoying it and has figured out some really cool stuff. So I think in people's minds who watch something like that, it's just way more real for them. Like, whoa, I can just like do this really crazy thing. And it's not some like special effects or like some like exaggeration, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That definitely is some of the charm. And one other thing interesting about her, Rachel, is that this isn't her full-time gig. She works with her family business. And this is just something she's done on the side, picked it up only during, the last 6 months, and clearly found the right niche because, like her follow account gets higher. But the reason I point that out is like, there's so many different types of influencers out there, people that are using social media to drive traffic. Everyone knows like celebrity influencers. So if a celebrity endorses something, like how well it's going to do. But right now, I actually feel there is a lot of value in these micro influencers that maybe will work harder or do things for cheaper, or in TikTok and Instagram Reels gives them a better stage to start out with. And so I don't know if anyone's like really figured out like this is how like the only way to work with influencers. There isn't one way, and there's just a lot of unique ways to feature products now, and it is. I mean, I wish I had like I could do this, like clockwork. I will say that I created a response video. So TikTok allows you to duet someone else. So her video had 10 million views. I created a response where I talked about it from the seller perspective. I showed off our warehouse and like how this is Cyber Monday. And we're like, look at all we've printed off. We have like, hundreds of labels that we're printing off in packages. Like, and I'm essentially, I'm going meta, and like in that TikTok video, I'm talking about how like crazy it is that influencers can affect businesses so much. And here's how I know that Rachel's new to this and why someone like her is a find. And, if you're an Amazon seller, you can contact her. She is like accessible. Is that I was her first seller that she ever talked to. And when she saw my response video, like she's sharing that with her friends, being like, oh my goodness, look what we're doing, And so we got over 500,000 views on that video. So there really is a time right now to like, just to throw stuff out there, engage with influencers. They create a video, and if it does really well, you could create a response video being like, it really took me 5 minutes. I just walked around our warehouse and just showed that like we were shipping hundreds of products, and that on its own got a lot of attention. And um, it gave me good rapport with her. So like when I called her up and like asked her these questions, she was like more than happy to. So I guess my advice with anyone with content, and Danny, like you obviously know it because you live this, is you just throw stuff out there. You just create stuff and make it a part of like what you do as a business. Because if you just do nothing, you sit behind a computer and don't offer any like ideas or content or whatever, then you're not going to get anything in return. But when you throw stuff out, like it's amazing what happens, and you'll be surprised. Like the different, every listener is in a different space right now. You have sellers of one person, you have sellers of 100 people, and they're going to hear what they need, and so that's kind of like the value of just engaging. And so when it comes to like TikTok, like the question is like, should we be doing something? Like, why not? Like if these low budget product commercials can do really, really well.
Yeah, well, and it's so interesting too, because I know a lot of people watching or listening to this they're interested in TikTok. It's on their radar, but I can guarantee that most people have not done a single thing on TikTok, or if they have, they've opened an account and they posted 10 things and then they kind of dropped off, right? TikTok's the new hot topic in the digital marketers kind of arsenal here. So my question to you, I guess, after seeing this runaway success with this TikTok here, do you have any plans, any kind of concrete plans or strategies that you're planning to leverage TikTok further or explore TikTok further in 2021?
Let's see. Well, we bought a company that has private label products. And so we're more in the private label game than we've ever been before. And so the answer is yes, we absolutely are going to be using, influencers. And specifically, we're going to be targeting micro influencers, people that, even if they only sell a few units, that's actually good for a launch strategy. Because sometimes these smaller influencers will do the video if only you send them the product. They feel like, they're just like happy to be like, and show it off like, hey, I got this free product, even if they're like, especially when they're brand new. They kind of get that. If you're working with people that are very seasoned, I guarantee you contacting Rachel in a year or two will be different than contacting her now. And so we are already like talking about how we can do this. You got to find the right type of product and the right type of person. We're launching a stuffed animal paired with a book that can be like obviously a gift for kids. And so I know that if we just like place this in a lot of different, moms with young kids, that it's going to create some of this like organic traction. Yeah, we'll ask them to do certain things, like post a video and like share it. They don't have to. I mean, like unless like we're paying them, I wouldn't feel like they would have to do it, and it'd be disappointing. But so yeah, we're absolutely like engaging this in a small way. I don't know exactly how to make this like a big, like every single product goes through that. I'm trying to figure that out, and hopefully in a year, if we talk again, Danny, like I'll have a few more ideas of like, okay, now with like 20 different products, here's our experience.
Yeah, well, it's such an interesting space that, like you said, there's no real well-defined way that like the influencers all charge different rates, and there's different best ways of working with them. One thing that that we're looking at exploring more, George Bryant, he's been on the podcast, and he's responsible for growing Vital Proteins into $1 billion company, which is obviously very impressive. A big part of that was their influencer program, and they have kind of like 3 tiers of influencers. They're top tier influencers that have proven that perform really well. They literally just partner with them, and they'll run ads through their Facebook ad accounts and their Instagram accounts to their own followers, with like ads of them talking about the product, and then it's all through their affiliate links. So essentially, they're incentivized. They're getting a piece of every single part of that sale, but it looks essentially like organically marketed content from that influencer. And like that just absolutely lights it up for them. And like obviously that's a very advanced strategy to run. You can't just go like email people and ask them to ask for access to their Facebook ad account and stuff like that. But I mean, that's the kind of really crazy stuff that people are using, that like not a lot of people even would even think to do something like that, because it's not like a well-defined path to figure something like that out, right?
Yeah. I mean, you hit a point, like marketing still isn't purely digital. You can't just like sit behind a computer. That building just a few relationships, like with affiliates, can do so much, where like these joint ventures where you create a win-win scenario for both, say an influencer or some other, person that is close to that space, and if you promote ads on them, they like it because they're also getting followers too from it, because their face is just out in more places. So, but they first had to build that relationship, they had to engage with that influencer before they even knew where they were going to go. And so that's kind of like what our business, how I focus with our marketing, is not just build digital assets, pictures in the right place or whatever, but to also, start to build relationships with other quote unquote influencers, whether that's a lifestyle influencer, or if, there are like other Amazon influencers that I'm trying to like become friends with, so that, and Danny, you yourself are that, because we both have podcasts, and it's just always helpful to have other people to like run ideas with, and just to know about what's out there. I mean, I know on more than one occasion, I've talked about Kenji ROI, probably not even online, but just like the value offer that they have, that they do this top tier, product page optimization. And I wouldn't have known that if we just didn't have a few conversations through podcasts a while ago.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting you're bringing that up too, because now that I'm thinking about it, Kenji ROI, we've been around for 4 or 5 years now, and as an example, we have like a well-developed podcast and really good SEO. So we get lots of other Amazon companies reaching out every single day, just trying to offer some kind of partnership, content collaboration, and interestingly enough, most of them go the angle of affiliate. Like most of them want to get us in their affiliate program and like pitching that we can make money doing that. We're really not interested in that at all, right? We have our own company that we're trying to grow our own company, and we don't want to kind of flog all of our audience with other people's products, but we are way more interested in content collaborations and things like that. That's mutually beneficial for us and them. So I guess that really just shows that there's no really one size fits all, not like affiliate incentives not going to be best for all influencers. Some influencers, maybe the clout, getting more followers is way more important to them. It just so depends.
Do you know what? I'll add on to like what we were saying earlier, and what you just hit on right now is, if you wanted to hit an influencer like Rachel, who has a very successful track record on TikTok. She's not the only one, but like if you look at her success rate, she doesn't have a lot of misses. Her videos get 1 million views. And I told her, I said like, well, if I want to get your attention, I can't just like say like, hey, here's a product. I get her attention to say like, hey, here's a product, but I've also curated 50,000 emails. And the moment you go live with your video, I'll blast out that email, and the TikTok algorithm will see, say 500 of those people, only 1% click on the video. Well, TikTok knows when outside people are coming in and watching it, getting watch time. And so when someone approaches you with something, or like say you want to approach someone with an offer, don't just think like, hey, join my affiliate program. It's like, hey, what value can I bring to you as well to make this like a collaboration, and so that is a valuable asset to any business, that like anytime you want to work with a collaborator, what can you also bring to them? And that's probably my focus. I just keep focusing on like being able to have a better offering, and I'm worried about, my email lists, so that when I work with someone else or I ask a favor, like be like, it just feels like a mutually beneficial thing.
Yeah, it makes so much sense trying to look at it from their perspective. Like, what are they already doing, and what are they clearly interested in doing better based on what they're already doing, right? Everyone is putting stuff out there if they're a content creator, and you can really see like what are they clearly trying to build. They probably are more interested in doing more of that than some other random avenue like an affiliate program that they have never promoted an affiliate link in their entire career or something like that. Right.
And,
so that makes a lot
and
of
if you're
sense.
if you're not good at affiliate links, maybe you'll convert 1 or 2 people, and you go through this whole effort and you just collect like, I don't know, less than $100. Some people just don't like that, and they just want to do what they do. I think you said something really well. Like, just look at what they're doing. They want to continue doing that. If you could help them monetize that more, then you have their attention.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Well, speaking of influencers, Scott, you're a bit of an influencer yourself in the Amazon seller space. You're doing big things. You sold, more than multiple 9 figures worth of products on Amazon and doing all these really cool things. Tell us a bit about your podcast and what you're currently doing in the space.
So, I've done a podcast for about 18 months now, and, it does take time, and I've only doubled down. I'm like, I think I might do 2 a week now, because of, how it forces me to learn a lot more, and I engage with other people. But what I've been doing in the space more lately is, so our business is kind of like coasting. I have 100 employees, and it's going well. But when I hear the audience and I see what the types of tools that they need, or like what they ask, and so I find out what tools that we've built, and I've actually wrapped it up into a software service. And it's called Smart Scout. Launched it a few months ago, and there's a few key differences. Like, I don't want to build Jungle Scout. I don't want to build Helium 10. I'm not going to win that game. And so, but there are some features that they don't have that we focused on our business. And so the tool that I've launched is called Smart Scout. Someone asked me the other day, what is it like? It's, as like Jungle Scout is to products, Smart Scout is to brands. So we're showing like how brands are doing on Amazon specifically, who's selling them, whether they're selling directly or they're using third-party sellers, or if they sell through Amazon. We show that brand level data, and we find that, retail arbitrageurs, wholesalers, and actually even people that sell services to sellers, people that are like targeting sellers. I actually have a map of of the few 100,000 sellers on Amazon that are doing significant volume, over a few $1,000s a month. We've got it. And it's kind of, it's a cool map. And we have, and so I'm always just listening to what those people want and building those tools. And obviously my involvement, through a podcast and Instagram, it keeps helping me feed features into that. And so that's my 9 to 5, working on that. And I think only because I'm a seller, the tool is the way that it is. There's people that build tools that don't sell on Amazon. They do all right because they're developers. But I think if you were to jump into it, you'd be like, oh my, like this is like how our type of seller saw it. And I'm building a few features that are actually very private label focused. They're not completely polished yet, but it's kind of to show a traffic flow of Amazon. It is actually inspired by this tool, Yasiv. Have you ever heard of Yasiv or tried it?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that tool. It got shut down a little while ago, right?
Yeah, it got shut down. Well, we're rebuilding it. We found a different way. I know what API they were using that was taken down. And so we kind of rebuilt it a little bit, but it shows kind of like a traffic flow grid of Amazon. And for private label sellers, you could throw in your competitor in there and you can see where their traffic is coming in from, where they're featured on other people's pages. And so if you want to steal their traffic, if you want to advertise on, where their inbound traffic is coming from, you have a chance of stealing it. So that's, I again, I don't want to build Jungle Scout. I want to offer new things and build that. So that's my forays into Amazon land. And, it turns out things are harder to do than you think. You can't just build it and people will come. You have to do good marketing, just like on Amazon. You have to.
Oh yeah, well, just the developing side alone is a whole complicated beast to figure out, let alone the marketing, the tool, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But I know you're a real smart guy, Scott. You got 100 employees behind you on the Amazon business side, and have so much experience there that I'm sure it's going to be very valuable. And that data about the brands and sellers, it's going to be really interesting. Actually, I'm going to get the team to look into that and see if everyone listening to this podcast, I'm probably targeting you with some kind of marketing already, but if not already, then for sure it's coming after I'm using this tool.
I just knew there's a value. If you wanted to just look at all the private label sellers like this, you can help kind of drill down to those and maybe even sell them services, whichever works. And I'm hoping to build out more of those features.
Well, that's awesome, Scott. Well, we'll put links to everything Scott just mentioned in the show notes here, kenjiroi.com/blog there, if you guys want to check out any of that stuff. And thanks so much for coming on and shedding some light into this new and crazy world of TikTok and your crazy story here.
It gives you all the best problems to have, the best problems of too many sales and all this COVID Christmas fiasco, and it's been good and no complaints, but hopefully next year we have it a little bit more under control. And thanks so much, Danny, for having me on. I mean, it's always a pleasure watching your life in Bali, where I'm looking at snow right now. And
I haven't seen snow in 2 years. I kind of miss it a little bit, to be honest, sometimes, but I'll be honest, most of the time I do enjoy the very warm Bali weather here. Awesome, Scott. Thanks for coming on, and continue kicking some ass, man.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.